Hello Year 2, Mr. Mellon here again for some more English today, and we're going to carry on with our writing week, and today is the day that we start writing our story. So our learning intention is to write a narrative or a story that engages my reader, so it's going to make my reader engaged and excited. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my plan that I did yesterday, so make sure you've got your plan handy today because you're going to need that. If not, if you haven't got your plan handy, don't worry, just grab the ideas that you came up with yesterday, and today we're going to be focusing on the beginning. So we're going to write the beginning of our story and we're going to write the build-up. We're not going to write the problem or the resolution or the ending yet, we're just going to concentrate on the beginning and the build-up. So our story only needs to be, it doesn't need to be any longer than 200 words, so it's quite a short story. So it's probably, if you're writing it, it's going to be about one side of A4. If you're typing it, it's going to be about half a side. And these are some sheets to help you, lots of different adjectives, adverbs, nouns and verbs that you could include in your writing if you want to. You don't have to, but just there to help. Okay, so I'm going to start my story. So I'm looking at my plan that I did on yesterday. Okay, so I'm going to describe my setting first. I need to say where the story was set. So in a deep, quiet, in a deep, quiet forest. So I've used a noun phrase to describe my setting. Two adjectives and a noun. In a deep, quiet forest. So I've described my setting using a noun phrase. What can I write next? I need to introduce my character. I need to introduce Gemma, a clever and brave girl called Gemma. So I've used a noun phrase to describe her. So straight away my reader knows what she's like. She's clever and she's brave. A clever and brave girl called Gemma skipped through the woods. So if she's skipping, that tells the reader that she's quite a happy little girl as well. So I'm really thinking about what my character is doing and how that will make the reader think of her. Okay, could I use any adjectives here? I'm describing Gemma, so I'm going to describe her as adventurous. She likes going on adventures. Caring. Anything else I could use to describe her? Helpful. So I'm still describing my main character so my reader can get to know them. She was very adventurous and was always looking for ways to help people. So there I go, I've described my setting with a noun phrase and I've described my character with a noun phrase, and then I've added a bit more description about my character. So you can do that now. Pause the video, write a sentence to describe your setting, and then write a couple of sentences to describe your character, and then hit play when you're ready. Okay, right, now it's time to carry on with our story. So we've described the setting, and we've described our character, and we've used some noun phrases, some really good adjectives, and some good verbs as well to describe what they're like. So now we're going to move on to explaining what's going to happen in the story. As she skipped, could I use an adverb to describe how she skipped? Let's have a look. How was she skipping? What adverb could I use? Angrily, anxiously, cautiously, cheerfully. Ooh, that sounds good. Cheerfully. Courageously, crossly, cruelly. Let's go for cheerfully. That's a good adverb. As she skipped cheerfully, comma, she saw. Actually, can I think of a word for saw? Can I think of a more exciting word? Let's have a look at our verbs, our doing words. Actually, I can't see another word for saw on that sheet, so I'm going to have to try and think of one for myself. She saw, she spotted, observed, found. I like spotted. Let's go with spotted. As she skipped cheerfully, she spotted. Oops, let's try that again. She spotted a huge brown tree. So I'm using those noun phrases that I came up with on Monday as well. Tree trunk. As she skipped cheerfully, she spotted a huge brown tree trunk. In the tree, she could see a door. Let's describe the door with a noun phrase. A bright door. I'm going to add a bit more description. In the tree, she could see a bright door between soft green leaves. So I've used some good noun phrases there. So I've explained what she did, and I've used an adverb to describe how she did it, and I've used some noun phrases as well. She crossed a dark creaking bridge. So again, I'm using those noun phrases that I came up with on Monday, popping those into my story. She crossed a dark creaking bridge and stepped across the damp, bumpy ground. That's had a conjunction. When she came to the door. Now I'm going to try and use a question to get my reader's attention. And what question could I ask? What was behind the door? What would she find? What was hiding behind the door? Let's go. What was behind it? What was behind it? So I've written a question to hook my reader in. She carefully, there's my adverb, she carefully pulled it open and stepped inside. She carefully pulled it open and stepped inside. So now I'd like you to pause the video and I'd like you to explain what happened first in your story. What did your character do? And see if you can include some noun phrases, some adverbs, a question, and maybe even a conjunction to get your reader really excited about what's going to happen. Once you've written what's going to happen in your story and you've used some of those features that we've talked about, hit play and then we'll move on to the next part of the story. Okay, so now it's time to move on to the build-up. So this is where we write down what happened next. Okay. What could happen next? Let me look at my plan. Okay, so looking at my plan, it says Gemma nervously, there's another adverb, stepped inside. But, so there's a conjunction, Gemma nervously stepped inside, but was amazed. That's a good adjective. So Gemma nervously stepped inside, but doesn't really work for that sentence. Let's go with and. Gemma nervously stepped inside and was amazed. She couldn't believe her eyes. That's getting the reader interested. Oh, I wonder what she's seeing. I wonder what she can't believe. I wonder what's so amazing she can't believe her eyes. That's got the reader hooked. She was in an enormous town of squirrels. She was in an enormous town of squirrels. So I've used a powerful adjective there, enormous, to get my reader interested. So far, I've used noun phrases, powerful verbs, powerful adverbs, and I've even used some questions as well to get my reader interested. So make sure you use those when you're writing your story if you can. Those will really help to get your reader excited. Okay, I need to start a new page now. I've run out of room on this page. Right, let's have a look at my plan. What could happen next? Okay, one of the squirrels waved at her. So we can already tell he's going to be a friendly squirrel. So I want my squirrel to be friendly, so I've given them an action which makes them sound friendly. Could I describe a squirrel? What adjectives could I use? Could be a clumsy squirrel. I think my squirrel's going to be clumsy. And eager. So eager means he really wants to please and he's always really excited to try new things and do his best. He was a clumsy but eager squirrel. So it might have been clumsy, but he was eager as well. He was a clumsy but eager squirrel. There's another conjunction, but. He was a clumsy but eager squirrel with a purple wizard's hat. And a tiny magic wand. So I've described my new character now, so you might have a second character who you can introduce into your story and describe. He waved the wand. I need an adverb to describe how he waved the wand. Let me have a look at my adverb sheet. He waved the wand angrily? No. A squirrel wouldn't be angry. Anxiously? Was he worried? Anxious? No. Cautiously? No, he's too clumsy to be cautious. Courageously? Happily. He's quite a happy little squirrel. He waved the wand happily. So I've chosen an adverb that fits my character. Okay. But something terrible started to happen, or building up a bit of tension now. It sounds like it's going to be a big problem. Duh, duh, duh. Put my 3 dots there, my ellipsis, to build up a bit of tension. Duh. Oh, let's try that again. Duh, duh, duh. There we go. build up a bit of tension. So what I've done is I've introduced my new character, I've described them, and then I've started to build tension. Something bad is going to happen. I wonder what that's going to be. So have a go at writing your build up now. Explain what happens next and see if you can use lots of description using adjectives and adverbs. Remember, this is your story. If you want to borrow ideas and use ideas from mine or particular words or phrases, go for it. I don't mind. Happy to share my ideas, but make sure you use your own ideas as well. I can't wait to see what you've written. Remember, it's only the beginning and the build up today, and we'll write the rest of the story tomorrow. Good luck with your writing. I can't wait to see how you're getting on, and hopefully I'll talk to you very, very soon. Bye for now.